So today I'm doing a 3-year review of the Altberg motorcycle boots. Now if you haven't seen the original video, it's worth a look before watching this one, and I'll put a link in at the end of this video. But for now I need to get stripped off, show you the boots, and then tell you what my experience has been over the 3 years. So first of all, let's have a little look at the boots on my feet, and I'll just show you how they undo and how they actually tie up again. So what we've got here is the Altberg Hogg Microlite motorcycle boots. And let's just pull those trousers out the way. And as mentioned, this is a 3-year review. I actually first did the initial review on these in May 2022, and we're currently on May 25. So these actually replace a pair of Altberg boots, one of 2 Altberg boots I've had previously. It replaced a pair that I'd used the most. I've still got the very oldest pair, which were refurbished. And altogether, I've had Altberg boots now and worn Altberg boots for well over 20 years. I think it might be maybe about 23, 24 years. I forget now. So that's the boot. They're obviously 3 years old now and well worn. Before we get into anything else, let me just show you. These are not the original laces. There was nothing wrong with the original laces. It's just I had one loosen on me and it burnt on exhaust pipe, and therefore I replaced both the pairs. These are actually stronger, they say unbreakable laces. If I can still find where I got them from, I'll put it up on screen. So basically, to loosen it off, you just loosen the laces there. You can see the Altberg logo. And to get them off, literally, they just pull off like that. So the tongue here has quite a wide aperture to get them on, as you can see there. And the boots themselves are very, very firm around the base, the sole, but they're a lot more supple. You can probably see the difference in leathers. I can see the difference in leathers, I don't know about you, but they're more supple in these areas here. So to put them on, we literally slide into them like that, pull the back, pull your socks up, and then just tighten up. This is the same as a walking boot or a military boot. Just tighten up the cordage at the bottom. Now, I don't want it too tight because your feet do swell a little bit when it's warmer weather. And then you just gradually lace it up like that. And by pulling, it really tightens this area here. Now, they recommend you don't bother using this top catch here, but I must admit I'm in the habit of doing that because you get that final cinch without it being over tight. And then just put a simple... Now, because of me previously having laces that got loose, I just give them a little double knot to be on the safe side. And that's the boot back on again. So there we have the boots. I'm going to put one to one side because we only need to look at one of the boots. And this is it. So just to remind you, it's called the Altberg Hogg Microlite boot. 3 years of use and constant use. This is the only motorcycle boot I've worn in the last 3 years. I'm going to give you a quick overview of the spec of the boots. So these boots by Altberg are made using full grain European leather. They're actually military grade leather as well, so the military grade spec. And Altberg do make boots for military use, and a lot of soldiers will buy boots, their own boots, from Altberg. They also make motorcycle boots, they make hiking boots, they make walking shoes, and they are a top quality product. They're actually water repellent. They have a military styling to them. And they have a waterproof lining, which is breathable. And it's they use a product called Simpletex. So it's a waterproof, breathable lining. They're lace-up boots, as you've seen from the previous footage. That gives you a really good, nice, firm attachment to your leg, and also it's quite quick to put on and take off. So guys, I've had to come inside because it's quite a hot day. It's full sun where I was filming, and the camera was overheating. So sorry about that. It's always nicer when it's in the full brightness of the light, but needs must. So just to recap, military style boot, military grade leather. It's called the Altberg Hogg Microlite. So for a boot of this structure, it's classed as a microlite within their range, and it is a very light boot. I mean, it just doesn't feel as if there's anything in there, albeit each boot is around about 880 gram. So feel for a big boot, for a tough structured boot, they do feel very light, particularly when you're riding or when you're walking on them. And I think that's just something to note, is that, to be honest, part of the reason I bought this style of boot is that when I go camping or travelling, I can actually just go off and explore places as if I was wearing a pair of boots, which in a hot climate isn't very nice, but it's pretty good from a point of view of walking. It's just like a walking boot. As you've noticed, it's got a Vibram sole, which are really tough, very, very good quality soles. And it has this water resistant rubber running around the base of the boot to help keep it waterproof. These cost me £230 when I bought them, and that's, as I say, 3 years. In fact, that's just over 3.5 years ago, because I bought them and never wore them. Actually, I just persevered with the boots I had. So I bought them about 3.5 years ago, and first used them 3 years ago. £230. So that's late 2021. I don't know what the current price is of these, but I'll put it up on the screen to show you. As of this date, which is around about early June, first week of June 2025. Where does the time go? I just want to talk to you about the condition of the boots after the 3 years use. And first of all, we'll take a little look at the interior. And whilst you can't see with the camera, it's very difficult to see the interior properly. The material inside has held up tremendously well. There's nothing come loose. There's no discernible wear. I mean, there is wear, but it's not anything that has started to cause any of the seams to part company. The actual sole, the inner sole, is still in very good condition, and again hasn't discernibly worn. It's quite a firm insole actually, and you can replace them with a softer one, but I quite like what I've got. The leather itself, if you look around, and just to mention, I've actually showing you these raw, having come back from a camping trip. Normally when I come back from a camping trip, I'll actually clean them. I'll use that leader grease which gives it a very waterproof, good protective cover. In fact, I'll show you that. So this is the leader grease, which is a water repellent wax oil. I've used these for the whole time that I've had boots from Altberg, and this is brilliant. This keeps your boots supple, it keeps them in good condition, it helps with the waterproofness of the leather. Excellent, excellent product. Now, you don't need to get these from Altberg. This leader grease is available from, you can buy it online. But that is absolutely, in my mind, essential when you buy these sort of boots. So yeah, the leather's holding up really well. There's nothing giving way on the seams. You can see where there's just like micro cracks in the leather there. They're very, you probably can't even see them on camera, just micro cracks. But the leader grease helps to deal with that. And basically where the boot catches the bike, and you can see this area here where it catches the bike, is where it wears, because it's literally catching bits on the bike, on my bike. And then if you move round, there's nothing really on this side. So yeah, a little bit of wear in this area, but that's where it's scuffing the bike. This rubber piece that goes round is holding up well. You can see the toe end there has a hardened piece of rubber. And you can see that's starting to get a bit worn. You can see where the gear position is on this boot because it's scuffing the leather here. But let me tell you, by the time you put the leader grease back on, that covers those scuffs. The tongue area, no cracks, no seams giving way, no stitching giving way. Everything's still pretty good. I mean, they're worn, but it's very good condition. As mentioned, I can't really talk about the laces because these are aftermarket laces. The sole, well, the Vibram sole is the thing that might wear out first. As you can see there at the toe end, it's wearing down quite a bit here. The rest of it's wearing. You can see just starting to wear at that point. And on the heel, pretty typical of any boot really, on the heel it's just starting to wear. Well, more than starting to wear, it is wearing. So basically the heel and the toe is where it's going to wear, like all boots. But unless they've changed in the last 2 or 3 years, once that sole has worn out, Altberg will do a refurbishment and replace the sole. I think they replace this rubber band, and basically, as long as the rest of the boot is okay, you can get it refurbished and carry on for years to come. When you get these are quite prominent on the bottom, and you know, you think to yourself, well, how comfortable is that for walking? Well, it's brilliant. It's very comfortable. How comfortable is it on the bike? It's great. It grips, especially if you're going on trails, because it will grip onto a proper foot peg, which I've got on my trail foot peg on my bike. I mean, Vibram soles are known in the industry for being very good, and I just can't say anything more than I think they're brilliant. So, just to show you the other boot, more or less exactly the same. The heel area is wearing, the toe area is wearing, everything's wearing, but that's the two prominent places that it is wearing there. On this one you can see that there's no gear changing on this one, so the toe area, which is reinforced anyway, is holding up very well. Slight wear on the rubber band round here, you can see at the top edge, just with some micro, I don't know whether you can see that, but some micro cracks in the top edge. From my experience of boots with Altberg, there's probably still another couple of years in these before I would want to even think about getting them refurbed. One thing I will have to watch for though, because I'm not so sure, I'm going to speak to them about this, when they do the replacement, I presume they replace this piece as well. Well, they must do, because I'm fairly confident they do replace this rubber strip round. So they will replace that. If there's anything different to what I've just told you, I'll put it up on screen. So, in summary, how have these boots been over the 3 years of use? Well, you can tell from everything I've just explained about the boot and the wear of the boot that I'm impressed with them. I had high expectations of these boots anyhow, and that high expectation has been met. They have held up really well from a point of view of wear. That's 3 years constant. I've not used anything else but these boots. So they've held up from a wear point of view really well. From a point of view of how the boots have felt over that period, I find them to be very comfortable. I just couldn't envisage wearing anything but this style of laced boot, because on my camping trips, often I'm on fairly uneven ground or grass or gravel, and you just manage to get a good grip with the soles. So it is like having a walking boot. In the riding, I feel very confident that in the event of an accident that these are going to remain on my feet and they are going to protect me. Now they're not the highest protection of motorcycle boots, but there's always a compromise. You know, you can have the most highest protection, especially for off-road, but then they're going to be a pig to walk in. So the compromise with these Altberg boots is that they offer a high level of protection for riding, but not the highest. However, they offer the best of comfort walking experience for a motorcycle boot that I think you can get. I don't think I'll have to refurbish these boots. And when I say refurbish, the soles, replace the soles, which is amazing that you can do that. I won't have to do that probably for another year, maybe even another couple of years. And from previous experience, I had a pair of Altberg boots that at about the 5-year mark I had refurbished. And those boots I still have in this garage now. Having been refurbished, I then got another set of boots from them, so they didn't get as much use. And then when those second pair of Altberg boots wore out, I got these. But they're a more traditional motorcycle boot. Actually, I'll put a picture up for you so you can see, but they're a more traditional motorcycle boot. And while still being very comfortable, not as good as these. I basically keep them now as a reserve. So in my review, when I first got these boots, and I hadn't worn them at that point, there were 3 areas that I touched on as to why I bought the boots. And that was trust, quality, and comfort. Trust, quality, and comfort. And after 3 years of wearing these boots, my trust in Altberg is as good, if not better, than it has been over the last 20 plus years. The quality, as you've seen, has been outstandingly good, and for years to come will be my motorcycle boot. And from a comfort point of view, they have exceeded expectation. The comfort, I'd read reviews myself. I had an idea they would be comfortable. I'd had Altberg boots, different type before. But I'm comfortable enough to go anywhere with these boots. So they're extremely comfortable boots that you can use to travel in. And then when you're at camp, if you're going to go off and walk, or if you're visiting a site, a castle, whatever, you can walk in these. These are going to be comfortable, and they are comfortable. I just would not be without these now. And just the last thing to say is that even though they're classed as lightweight boots, they feel lighter than they actually are. And I don't know how that works, but it must just be the hand-built nature of the boot, and that's the thing to mention to you, is that they are handmade. The hand-built quality is so good that these boots feel so light in use. Anyhow, guys, thanks for watching. I just wanted to give you that update, and I'll see you on another video.